Hi folks, Andrew Greene here of the Peacherine Ragtime Society Orchestra. Welcome to my home for a little behind the scenes peek at what goes on when Peacherine's not out performing. Now, of course, when you have an orchestra like this, we have a lot of music that we have. In our collection, we have somewhere around 15,000 unique titles. And here, in my office, is where the magic happens, where we store much of the actively used music, and of course need to preserve more of it. So today we're going to look and see what happens when we have all this music that we need to sort, preserve, scan, store, and hopefully in the future be able to play for you to enjoy. So let's take a quick look. Inside the Peacherine archive, we have filing cabinet after filing cabinet of historic American orchestrations that have been scanned, cataloged, and put in protective sleeves. That way they'll be able to be preserved for generations to come. But outside of those filing cabinets are often stacks of music that are just eagerly waiting to be cataloged and scanned and preserved. That way they'll be ready to go for an upcoming Peacherine program. On the bench this morning, from the musical comedy Irene by James Montgomery, is the One Step. Irene, music by Harry Tierney, lyrics by Joseph McCarthy, arranged by a fantastic orchestrator named Arthur Lange. And here it is, the first violin part. The parts here are complete for small orchestra, which is the setting that Peacherine uses in all of our performing activities. So 2 violins, a viola, cello, bass, flute, doubling piccolo, clarinet, 2 cornets, trombone, drums, and of course the ever important piano conductor score. So everything is here, and because it's complete and because it looks like it's a good tune, we'll be going ahead and scanning it so that way we have a photocopy of it available that we can use in our active performances. So, what's the next step? We put all of our orchestrations on this beautiful flatbed scanner, and notice that not only is there music, but there's also these lovely advertisements. So one side is the music, one side is the ad. So we want to make sure to capture both sides, that way everything's preserved. Because sometimes we'll be going through and we say, oh wait, we have the standard waltzes for orchestra collection. What are we missing? And that way we have a good list of what is there. I'm already seeing pieces that we use in our score for the Mark of Zorro, or standard medleys for orchestra. So we're looking to see what might be out there that we can look for, either online or in other collections to help fill out what we have. But once we have what we need, we're going to go ahead, lay it on the scanner, simply close the lid, and then tell our computer to go ahead and do the rest. Once a piece of music is physically scanned, then we go over to our collection spreadsheet, and we're going to go ahead and add everything in so that way it's there. You can see on the left here we actually have a catalog number, so that is the number of the envelope that the piece is connected within. But notice that it's not the actual number of how many pieces we've cataloged. Over on the very left, column number 1, the Grizzly Bear Rag, for example, by Mr. George Botsford, is item number 2,418. So while we have about 15,000, only about 2,500 at this point have been physically cataloged and scanned. So just to give you an idea of what we then do, we take the information of who the composer was, if there was a secondary composer like a lyricist or just another composer writing the piece, who arranged it, the year that it was published, or at least the orchestration was published, the publisher. If the piece of music has a publishing number, we want to know that information as well. Helps us to know when it was printed, the instrumentation of the piece, and then we're going to mark it in the system, whether it's complete for full orchestra, which is for piano, 2 violins, viola, cello and bass, flute, oboe, 2 clarinets, bassoon, horns in F, cornets, trombone, drums, and piano. Sometimes with the full orchestra setting, you'll also see stuff like E-flat and B-flat saxophones, or you might see harmonium or harp or some of the other ones, so that also determines it is complete. But only for small orchestra do we click this box here, which means it's going to have the setting that Peacherine uses in all of our performances. So 2 violins, viola, cello and bass, flute that doubles piccolo, clarinet, 2 cornets, trombone, drums, and of course the ever-important piano part. We then will make a determination of what the piece is. Is it a rag? Is it a 2-step? Is it a vocal arrangement? Is it for silent film accompaniment? Is it a foxtrot? We want to know what the type of piece is. That way we can use it in our concerts and our film presentations. And then we're also going to see who the collection is from. So you'll see we have stuff from various theaters, the Criterion Theater in Los Angeles, J.G. Stam's Orchestra, which I've been personally cataloging recently, the William H. Toy Orchestra, and a few others. And then we're going to add any notes. Down here, for example, in some of these pieces, we're identifying that this is from a folio, so it's actually a book of pieces, part of Sam Fox's Popular Orchestra Folio number 9. And this will also be where I will occasionally leave notes of, ooh, this piece looks really good. We want to go ahead and catalog it here. So that's what we do with the collection digitally. Of course, the other part is then looking at how everything is put together in the computer. And here on the computer are all of the final scans that have been put through. The scanning software is smart enough to realize when individual sheets are put in, and we always scan it in color because we always want to preserve any pencil marks or things that the musicians who used this before are captured. Maybe they'll give us an insight on how a piece should be played, or whether there are certain things that they might have omitted or fixed a wrong note here or there, or maybe if it was used for motion pictures, where that piece might start or where it might stop. So once it's there, then we have one final thing to do. Once the orchestration has been fully scanned, we're going to go ahead, put it in our lovely acid-free sleeve, which will then be sealed, and then we'll put it inside a manila envelope, and we will label said envelope with its catalog number. Once the piece has been cataloged, put the final number 1414 for this particular one. Then we're going to go ahead and file it away with its other sisters and brothers in the lovely filing cabinets here. And you'll see this filing cabinet also is storing music that still needs to be scanned. This stuff from the Arthur O. Newberry collection, which is something we got out of Rochester, New York back in 2018. So this will be put away with its others, and then we'll continue on down the line with many more pieces to go. Is cataloging a time-consuming process? Absolutely. Is it a lot of fun, though? Absolutely. When you have this many pieces of music, oftentimes you'll just do a spot inventory when you get a new collection in. You might say, okay, this trunk is full of this type of music, whether it's waltzes, foxtrots, two-steps, it's all rags, or in some cases, you might not know or remember what's in a box of something you picked up at a flea market years ago. But that's half the fun. Once you unbox them and take a look at what you have, you'll find a treasure trove of these fantastic American musical scores, and it's our honor and privilege to be able to preserve them and perform these pieces so they get enjoyed by today's generation. If you have music like this that you would love to see Peacherine perform, please let us know. Our information is below in case you'd like to reach out and let us know what music you might have, and we would love to take a donation to be able to, again, preserve this music and play it so you can actually hear what your grandfather or great-grandmother or other people in the community might have heard over 100 years ago. But with that, I've got a lot more music I need to scan. So we'll see y'all later, and we'll see you at a future Peacherine concert. Bye-bye.